Fredericton. Until Friday morning, Jackie McLean's Twitter feed was a mix of family moments, politics and wry jokes. But since Friday afternoon, hours after McLean's common-law partner, Const. Rob Costello, died in the line of duty, it has become a heartbreaking real-time peek into the intense pain that comes with losing a spouse so suddenly. Rob Costello was described as my soulmate, my best friend and the light of my life by his common-law partner, Jackie McLean. Fredericton police force. That first wave hits you and it's rough, but it's a tsunami. It retreats and seemingly takes everything with it, and you're left with a world you recognize and can navigate, but that is completely vacant, she wrote Sunday. Costello, 45, a 20-year police veteran with 4 children, was killed Friday morning, one of 4 people gunned down outside an apartment complex on Fredericton's north side. Investigators allege a man shot at the first 2 victims, Bobby Lee Wright and Donnie Robichaud, from an elevated position shortly after 7 a.m. Friday, using a long gun. They said Costello and Const. Sarah Burns were responding to the shooting when they were shot. Article continued. Below. A few hours later, McLean tweeted to media that she was grateful for the outpouring of sympathy, and referred requests for further interviews to the Fredericton police force. Then, a few hours after that, she began to describe her grief for her hundreds of followers. This morning the most amazing man kissed me goodbye as he headed to work. This evening, I lay in our bed knowing that kiss will never happen again. Read more. She was just lovely. Slain. Fredericton police officer loved giving back. Fredericton pair killed in shooting spree had just begun dating. Friends and relatives say Fredericton Pride Parade, a way to celebrate even in the midst of this grief. Next day, she tweeted again, "It is very surreal to see your spouse's face all over TV and news outlets and know that that's the only way you'll see him today." Article continued below. Librarian friends, is there a guide to being a widow? I'm nervous and unsure. I need a guide to follow. Late Saturday, Fredericton police were called to another dramatic incident. Heavily armed officers and about a dozen police vehicles encircled part of a neighborhood not far from the shooting that killed Costello. McLean retweeted a police tweet about the then-ongoing second incident and added, "What a thing to read while you work on writing your spouse's obituary." The second incident ended peacefully. Also Saturday, police issued a statement on behalf of both officers' families. In the statement from Costello's family, in which she was referred to as Jackie Steves, a name she also goes by, she talked at length about her partner and asked for privacy. "While I met Rob relatively late in my life, he was my soulmate, my best friend and the light of my life. We shared a love of one another that I only believed existed in the movies, except this was real life and it really happened. I cannot even begin to imagine my life without him," she said. Rob was a dedicated family man. "My children were so fond of Rob that they affectionately referred to him as their faux pas." Rob's mom was the most important woman in his life and Rob was extraordinarily proud of his daughters. McLean said he was the single most positive person she had ever met, and that he had a special way of dealing with people, fair, but strong and tough when needed. He was often heard to say he was a CFL constable for life. He loved the people, he loved the variety of calls, but mostly he loved being able to de-escalate an escalating situation. I know he responded eagerly and willingly to that last call." On Sunday morning, McLean took to Twitter again, her grief palpable. "Rob told me every single day that I was awesome, beautiful and he loved me. Sometimes he was not as prompt as others, so he'd say, 'Did I tell you yet today how awesome you are?' A few minutes later, she added, 'My daughter said to me last night, without faux pas, who is going to tell me I am beautiful every day?" Prime Minister Justin Trudeau met with families of fallen Fredericton police officers Sunday, and said he told their children something he had learned: "Mourning is made a little bit easier when you've got an entire country standing with you." Trudeau and his son Hadrian went to Fredericton's police headquarters to lay flowers at the growing memorial to the 4 victims of Friday's violence. Speaking to reporters, he appeared to allude to the public support he received after the death of his own father, the late Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. "I talked to their kids, and highlighted something that I had experienced was that when you have a whole community, and indeed a whole country supporting you through terrible grief, it actually does make it a little bit easier, not much easier but a little bit easier," he said.